Are you scared of critical mode?
Are you scared?
Is this gonna be your first KH2 critical mode run? Do you have no idea what to do? Well, fear not. This is the mega ultimate giga quick easy as fuck idiot proof guide for anyone that wants to go through their first KH2 critical mode run. Let's get on with it. So the first tip I have for you guys is to level up your drive forms. Drive forms are extremely important and I cannot stress this enough. Not only because of the growth abilities which get stronger as you level them up, and also because of the overall power that each form possesses, especially Valor form and Limit form. These are the most used forms in my opinion and the most essential ones to have leveled up. Of course, Final form comes at the end of the game, but the two forms you are probably going to be using the most are Valor and Limit form. So focus on leveling up your forms, getting them as leveled up as possible at that certain point in the game, and it will make your critical mode experience a lot easier and overall even more fun. The second tip I have for you is to use magic. What do I mean by that? With magic, I gotta admit I'm guilty of this. In KH2 when I played it on critical the first time, I did not utilize magic almost at all. The magic is an extremely important part of the entire gameplay of KH2 especially. Now I don't mean spam magic by any means, but you gotta utilize some of the best spells in the game, such as Cure and Reflect. Reflect is an extremely powerful yet kind of an underrated spell, and the more you level it up, it's better, because Reflect not only helps shield you from enemies, it can impact so much damage, it's actually ridiculous how broken Reflect can even be at times. And if you're going to be using a lot of magic in a certain fight, go ahead and use Wisdom form combined with a lot of magic. Trust me, it's gonna make your experience even better and even easier, and it will save a lot of nerves. The next one I have for you guys: get your shortcuts and items in order. What I see way too many people do is they do not have their shortcuts set right. If you're a newcomer to the series and you don't know how to set your shortcuts, I'm going to put it on screen right now. What you need to do is go into the menu, go into the customize, and you have there the shortcut tabs, and you can assign the shortcuts you like. All of this is personal preference. You have my shortcut list on screen right now. That is literally how I have it set up all the time, and I have had it set up this way pretty much for as long as I can remember. Now, bonus tip when you're going to be customizing your shortcuts: if you are customizing items to your shortcuts, what you need to pay attention to is which button you are assigning an item, because when you are in limit form, you have on shortcuts, you have your limits. Now, your limits are always active, but if you want to use limit shortcuts, you have to have a magic set to a specific shortcut if you want to use that limit via the shortcut. So you cannot have a potion on circle if you plan on using the circle shortcut with limit form, which is the shortcut for Sonic Rave. So yeah, get your shortcuts and items in order. Also, do not hesitate to use items. I see way too many people hesitating to use items. Trust me, you will not run out of items. You can always buy more, especially things like that are cheap, like potions and high potions even to an extent. You do not need to be cheap with items. If you need them, use them. That's literally as simple as that. The next tip I have for you: do not skip worlds. I know this is annoying, and I know I am guilty of this. When I was a kid, I used to skip worlds left and right, especially in KH1. In KH2 a little bit less, but I did used to do it a lot in KH1 and in KH2. So do not skip worlds. I know you may not like some worlds, but if you keep skipping worlds, not only are you going to be under leveled for the bosses that are coming up, and not only that, you will also miss out on a lot of abilities and things that you get from those worlds, which will help you down the line. So please, for the love of God, do not skip worlds. And the last piece of advice I have for you guys is to pay attention to Keyblade stats and Keyblade abilities. For example, the best Keyblade in my opinion is the Decisive Pumpkin Keyblade. I have went through probably about half the game with using only that Keyblade because it has the ability that helps you with combos. I can't remember what it's called right now. I'm gonna put it on the screen right now. But a huge advice from me is to pay attention to your Keyblades, pay attention to your stats, your strength of the Keyblade, your magic, and the abilities that Keyblade has. The Decisive Pumpkin is a huge recommendation from me, and it's one of, if not the best Keyblades you can get in the game. Of course, just like with shortcuts, Keyblades are going to be a personal preference thing, but I do again recommend the Decisive Pumpkin, and please Pay attention to the stats, that being the magic and the strength of the Keyblade again, and also pay attention to the abilities that each Keyblade has. So with that said, that's it for these 5 tips for your first Kingdom Hearts 2 critical mode run. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something new. I hope it helped out with your first KH2 critical mode run. If you like what I do here on YouTube, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the YouTube channel, as it helps out a lot. Until the next video or stream, thank you so much for watching, and bye bye.